Dear students, welcome to today's class. Today we are going to learn an interesting story. And the name of the story is In a Tunnel. What is the meaning of tunnel? Meaning of tunnel is underground hole or passageway. This is an interesting story and this is also an adventurous story. What is the meaning of adventure? Do you remember? If you recall the story Nicodemus, you would know this. You would know the meaning of adventure. If you have forgotten, let me remind you that adventure is a term used to refer to activities with some potential of physical danger. It is an unusual and exciting experience. It is a tendency to take risk and enjoy the mystery or the experience of it. It is viewed as a form of recreation. So, let me read the paragraph first and then I shall explain. Of course, you know what going into a tunnel is like. The engine gives a scream and then suddenly the noise of the running, rattling train changes and grows different and much louder. Grown-up people pull up the windows and hold them by the strap. The railway carriage suddenly grows like night, with lamps, of course, unless you are in a slow local train, in which case lamps are not always provided. Then by and by the darkness outside the carriage window is touched by puffs of cloud whiteness. Then you see a blue light on the walls of the tunnel and the sound of the moving train changes once more and you are out in the good open air again and grown-ups let the straps go. The windows, all dim with the yellow breath of the tunnel, rattle down into their places, and you see once more the diff and catch of the telegraph wires beside the line and the straight-cut hawthorn hedges with the tiny baby trees grown up out of them every 30 years. So let's learn some new words. Rattle means a short successive sound. Hawthorn hedges means shrub fence. So dear students, in this paragraph we learn going into a tunnel in a train, noise of the rattling train becomes louder. Grown-up people pull off the windows and hold them by the strap. Lamps inside the railway carriage start glowing like night. As one comes out of the train, a little light like cloudy whiteness starts showing blue light on the walls of tunnel surfaces, and once more the sound of the moving train changes. When the train is out of the tunnel, grown-ups let the straps go, windows rattle down to their places, telegraph wires can be seen beside the line. Hawthorn hedges with the baby trees can be seen, one comes out in the open air. Let's read the next paragraph. All this of course is what a tunnel means when you are in a train. But everything is quite different when you walk into a tunnel on your own feet and tread on shifting, sliding stones and gravel on the path that curves downwards from the shining metals to the wall. Then you see slimy, oozy trickles of water running down the inside of the tunnel and you notice that the bricks are not red or brown as they are at the tunnel's mouth, but dull, sticky, sickly green. Your voice when you speak is quite changed from what it was outside in the sunshine, and it is a long time before the tunnel is dark. So in this paragraph, we see that when one walks in the tunnel on their feet, one treads on shifting sliding stones and gravel on the car path. The walls are slimy and green due to trickles of water running down. The bricks are not red or brown, but dull, sticky and dirty green. A tunnel is very dark that seems frightening to many. The sounds of the human voice and trains change. The train looks mysterious and ghostly. And let us read the rest of the story in one stretch. It was not yet quite dark in the tunnel when Felice caught Bobby's skirt ripping out half a yard of gathers. But no one noticed this at the time. I want to go back, she said. I don't like it. It will be pitch dark in a minute. I won't go on in the dark. I don't care what you say. I won't. Don't be silly cuckoo, said Peter. I've got a candle end and matches. And what's that? That was low humming sound on the railway line, a trembling of the voice beside it, a buzzing, humming sound that grew louder and louder as they listened. It's a train, said Bobby. Which line? Let me go by, cried Felice, struggling to get away from the hand by which Bobby held her. Don't be a coward, said Bobby. It's quite safe. Stand back. Come on, shouted Peter, who was a few years ahead. Quick, manhole. The roar of the advancing train was now louder than the noise you hear when your head is underwater in the bath and both traps are running and you are kicking with your heels against the bath's tin sides. But Peter had shouted for all he was worth and Bobby had heard him. She dragged Felice along to the manhole. Felice, of course, stumbled over the wires and grazed both her legs, but they dragged her in, and all three stood in the dark, damp arc recess while the train roared louder and louder. It seemed as if it would deafen them, and in the distance they could see its eyes of fire growing bigger and brighter every instant. It's dragon, I always knew it. It takes its own shape in here in the dark, shouted Felice, but nobody heard her. You see, the train was shouting too, and its voice was bigger than hers. And now, with a rush and roar and a rattle, and a long dazzling flash of light carriage windows, a smell of smoke and blast of hot air, the train hurtled by, clanging and jangling and echoing in the vaulted roof of the tunnel. Felice and Bobby clung to each other. Even Peter caught hold of Bobby's arm in case she should be frightened, as he explained afterwards. And now, slowly and gradually, the tail lights grew smaller and smaller, and so did the noise, till with one last whiz the train got itself out of the tunnel and silence settled again on its damp walls and dripping roof. Now let's learn some new words. Ripping means sound of violent tearing or splitting. Humming means soft noise. Dragon means Asian lizard. Manhole means a hole through which can gain access to an underground. So in this long paragraph of the last part of the story we learn, the Felice is extremely scared of the dark. She compares the train to a dragon which takes its own shape in the tunnel. The headlights of the trains are compared to the eyes of fire. A train comes in with a buzzing, humming sound, but later the noise becomes so loud that it seems as if they are getting drowned in it. Felice stumbles, but Bobby drags her to the manhole and Peter follows. And they stand safe in the dark, damp arc recess. So in this paragraph we see the experience of the children. We see that Peter shouts to tell Bobby to look up to Felice, who is very scared. Felice stumbles over the wires and bruises both her legs. They stand along the manhole. Felice and Bobby cling to each other. Peter, the bravest of them all, holds on to Bobby's arms, saying that he is frightened, though it is he who is frightened. Dear students, thus we have seen this story into two parts. First part of the story narrates about the going into a tunnel in a train and on the feet. And second part of the story we have seen the experiences of the children. So this is what we see in this story. So dear students, once again go through and try to get the central idea of the